They called it the work of a serial killer. But what if it wasn't just one man? What if the truth about the Gilgo Beach murders goes far deeper, into the darkest chambers of power, sex, and corruption? This is the story of Shannan Gilbert, and how her scream that night may have unearthed the secret some men would kill to bury. May 1st, 2010. Shannan Gilbert, 23 years old, escorted by her driver to a remote gated community in Oak Beach, Long Island. A paid date, nothing out of the ordinary. But within hours, Shannan is frantically dialing 911, screaming that they're trying to kill me. Her call lasts 22 minutes. She runs from house to house in the dark. One man opens the door, then closes it again. Another calls 911 on her behalf, but does nothing more. She disappears into the marsh. For 19 months no one finds her, but in the search for Shannan, they find someone else. Then another and another, 10 bodies in total, all women, all sex workers, all dumped like trash along Ocean Parkway. The first 4 women found, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes, are now known as the Gilgo Four. Each was strangled, each wrapped in burlap, each placed with intention. For years, no arrests, no answers. But then came the name Rex Hoyerman, an architect from Massapequa. Quiet, cold. He lived 20 minutes from the beach. In 2023, he was arrested. DNA linked him to hairs found on burlap wrappings. Phone pings placed him at the scenes. A killer was finally caught. But what about Shannan Gilbert? What about the other 6 victims? And what about the most powerful man on Long Island law enforcement at the time, Police Chief James Burke? James Burke was the Suffolk County Police Chief during the peak of the investigation. But instead of leading the charge, he did something shocking. He blocked the FBI from assisting. Why? Years later, the truth began to leak. Burke was arrested, not for murder, but for brutally beating a handcuffed man who had stolen his duffel bag. Inside that bag, sex toys, pornography, homemade sex tapes, Viagra, and a gun. During his sentencing, federal agents made a bombshell allegation. Burke frequently hired sex workers, some allegedly underage, and held BDSM orgies in police-owned locations. Witnesses claimed he had ties to violent sex parties involving drugs and possible non-consensual acts. Some claim he even filmed them. A snuff film? That's never been proven. But rumors spread, especially online, that Shannan Gilbert was targeted by a group of men, not one killer. And Burke, they say, helped cover it up. Shannan's last night was spent at the home of Joseph Brewer, a former Oak Beach resident. But behind the gates of this quiet community was something far more sinister, a sex ring, according to whistleblowers and, Reddit sleuths. Multiple women claimed they were brought to Oak Beach not just for individual clients, but for group parties. Some said it felt ritualistic, rough, violent, filmed. A local escort, Leanne, later came forward anonymously and said, "We were told to shut up, take the money, and don't ask questions. But I heard girls scream before." Some claim Shannan wasn't overdosed or lost in the marsh. They believe she was chased, caught, and killed on camera. When James Burke was arrested in 2016, he served 46 months in federal prison. But when his home was raided by the FBI, reports say they found evidence of violent pornography, hard drives with encrypted files, and alleged communications with known sex traffickers. Some documents, obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests, were heavily redacted. But, internal leaks suggest Burke's hard drives may have included images of women who were never identified. Why wasn't he charged with more? That's the question local journalists keep asking, and there's more. In 2023, after his release, Burke was arrested again for soliciting sex in a park known for gay hookups. He's still walking free today. When Shannan's body was found in 2011, the Suffolk County Police declared it an accidental death. They said she had fallen into a marsh and drowned. But the autopsy, performed by Dr. Michael Baden, the same pathologist who reviewed Jeffrey Epstein's body, tells a different story. No water in lungs, no injuries consistent with drowning, neck damage consistent with strangulation. Her clothes were folded neatly nearby, her shoes in opposite directions, phone found in grass. It didn't look like an accident, it looked like staging. And yet, to this day, her case is not classified as homicide. In 2022, a whistleblower inside Suffolk County PD came forward. They claimed there was pressure from above to keep Shannan's case quiet. pressure from people tied to James Burke, evidence allegedly vanished, witness statements went unrecorded, and those who asked too many questions were reassigned or silenced. There were people at those parties, some of them were cops, some were wealthy, some were untouchable. Rex Heuermann fits the profile, but, some believe he's only part of the truth. Heuermann's phone pings, burner calls, and DNA placed him at the scenes of the Gilgo 4. But what about the others? Valerie Mack, Jessica Taylor, Peaches and her child, and an unidentified Asian male. They don't match Rex's known pattern. Was there another killer? Or maybe multiple killers operating in the same area, dumping bodies in the same place? Some believe the sex ring that met at Oak Beach, protected by cops, involved live murders. Some believe snuff films were made and sold, and that James Burke had one of those films. No charges have ever been filed, but, yeah, the whispers won't stop. In 2023, just months after Heuermann's arrest, James Burke was found in a Suffolk County park soliciting sex. He was arrested and released. Community advocates say he's still involved in underground sex networks, protected by silence and political ties. Some claim he's still committing sex crimes, but law enforcement won't say a word. He has dirt on people. That's why nothing happens. He knows where the bodies are buried, literally. Shannan Gilbert wasn't just a sex worker, she was a daughter, a sister, a fighter, and her screams in 2010 may have brought down a killer and exposed the system built to protect him. But the truth is not complete until justice comes for all of them, and the people who helped bury the truth are finally dragged into the light. If you or someone you know has information about the Gilgo Beach case or sex trafficking in Suffolk County, contact the FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI.